One of my favorite iterations of the mage class comes from Fire Emblem Echoes. I love how spells are handled in that game. A unique spell list for every character, spells costing an amount of HP based on their power, you gain new spells from leveling up instead of just equipping a new tome. It feels like it's Dragon Quest, and I really like that. Most players who played Echoes fell in love with Delphia, given her dominant unit performance, and a lot kinda left her brother to the sideline, due to him not quite being up to snuff. Well, what if I told you both Delthia's supremacy and Luthier's mediocrity was a fantastic gameplay story integration? And what if I told you that people who don't like and subscribe to my videos have only a 32% chance of not having broken bones in their body? Don't take the risk.
There is no meme. This is just a threat.
So, let's go into their unit quality, and we're gonna start with Luthier. Luthier is a certifiable 5 out of 10, not that bad at all. His spell selection is decent, sporting Excalibur for 2 range and getting both Thunder and Sagittae for long range, and his stats are decent as well. His magic power is okay, allowing his spells to do okay damage. His speed is okay. He won't get doubled by too much, and he might even double some of the slower enemies. And his bulk, well, okay, his bulk is bad, but he's a mage. What kind of mage is a tank? Nosferatu tanking doesn't count. Anyways, Luthier is the definition of C average. There is nothing he does poorly, but also nothing he does greatly. And let's compare that to his sister, who is a little bundle of raw, magical damage. She gains the incredibly powerful Aura and Ragnarok spells, whose power is so high, she shreds anything with a pulse that's near her. And given the enemies she fights in Echoes, anything without a pulse near her. She gains the Rewarp spell too, letting her warp around to any ally she wants, granting some absurd movement potential on top of her damage. Her stats are also great. Despite being 4 levels than Luthier and joining like 5 fights after him, her stats are comparable or better than his in everything but health, and her growths are flat out better than his. Again, her bulk is absolutely pitiful, and again, what mage is bulky? Simply put, this 13-year-old is 8 years younger than her brother and 8 times the mage. So why is that? Well, it turns out a powerful magic bloodline runs through their veins. Their ancestor was a great sage of well-known regard. But since that sage was a woman, the power of her magic appears in her female descendants a lot more than her male descendants, leaving poor Luthier in the dust. The power's there, it's just not as great as it could be. Because of this, Luthier spends all of his time learning and training his magic. He's essentially trying to be a basketball player when his height starts with a 5. It's definitely possible, but you're fighting an uphill battle from the word go. But he holds great pride in his bloodline, so he sticks with it, knowing he's going to be mediocre. Meanwhile, Delphia is well aware that she has a natural gift for magic and uses it to help fight, but doesn't actually want to have anything to do with it. She wants to live her life doing what normal teenage girls do, like fawning over cute boys like Clive, apparently. Alright, sure. Point is, she probably never would have been a mage in the first place were it not for her brother shoving it down her throat. Basically, Luthier is the sports dad who wants his son to grow up playing football and get drafted into the NFL, but all his son wants to do is theater or something. So their stats perfectly reflect their characters. You understand Luthier's feelings of inferiority and inadequacy because using him reflects that skill level. And you understand why Luthier is so hard on Delphia to take her mage studies more seriously. When she lives up to her potential, her power is to be feared. It's the kind of feeling that could not be replicated if Echoes tried to make Luthier just as good as Delphia. He needed to be a weaker unit than her for this to work. A lot of the time, Fire Emblem's not the best at this. Characters who are supposed to be super powerful badass knights are kinda just or vice versa. But it is perfectly nailed with these two. It just goes to show that sometimes a mediocre unit might be a bit more worth it than you think. Before we go, I would like to thank my patrons for their support. As always, all of you are loved and appreciated, and I hope you continue to support me in the future. I'm really curious to see how this episode will do, considering the Shanam video became my most viewed video ever. I've been doing this shit for 3 years, and a video about Shanam, of all people, is the big breadwinner. Huh. See you guys next time!